everyone, and welcome to Bumping and Thumping, your premier podcast featuring everything about for independent wrestling around the world. And join with me today, the magnanimous magician himself. He is a promoter, he is a wrestler, he is a ring visionary. Everyone, bringing the party from the parking lot to this amazing podcast, Schwartzy.
Hello, Ann. Schwartzy here. Yes, and apparently today I'm a wizard as well, so that's always good. I'm a magician. I can do always good to have something new on the resume. How are you?
I'm fantastic. We have so much to talk to, or I have so much to talk to you about. I'm just really glad that we have this amazing opportunity. Life is a highway, right? We're going to ride it all night long. And I'm just glad that our paths have crossed. So,
yes. Good traffic.
Yeah, I had nothing but fantastic. There was no obstacles getting home from work today. And you know what? We have so much to get to, but right after this break, we'll just dive right in. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me. I love it.
Sounds good to me. All right. We'll be right back.
Mosquito-borne diseases or mosquito-borne illnesses are diseases caused by bacteria, viruses, or parasites transmitted by mosquitoes. Nearly 700 million people get a mosquito-borne illness each year, resulting in over 725,000 deaths. If you live near a pond or lake, or you're scheduling an outdoor event, go online or call today for your free consultation.
Welcome back to Bumping and Thumping, your premier podcast featuring everything about for independent wrestling around the world. I'm so excited for our guest today. Schwartzy, you've accomplished so much in your career thus far. You do the wrestling, you do the promoting. You've even done the podcasting. Is there anything that you don't do?
I don't do babysitting because you shouldn't leave me with children. And I don't do alcohol. So that's about it. That's where the story ends. I'll try anything once. I have gone to college.
Can you whistle? You know what?
That's right. Just don't do it by a job site. Those men work hard. They don't need to be oogled. 2024, we don't do that. Let them work.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. You're just one of my favorite creatures in the world. Where did your foothold in this crazy wrestling world begin? And
how did I get started? I originally was a nightclub promoter in college, and I wanted to put on a wrestling event, and I ran into a gentleman by the name of Old Timer Jeff King. You might have heard of him.
I have.
Yes. And he asked me if I'd like to be a professional wrestler, actually, in that same meeting. Always have. I always go for what I want, so I did. He introduced me to Frankie the Face. He took the lead on it, and then eventually they became co-trainers and trained me to be a professional wrestler. I was hooked from day one, and they were beating the ever-loving crap out of me. So there's got to be something to that if you want to come running back.
Prior to that experience, a lot of people I've talked to, they've been lifetime fans of wrestling. Is that the case for you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love professional wrestling my whole life. Always was a macho man kind of homie, not really a Hulk Hogan kind of guy. I like the entertainers. I like Jake the Snake, Mr. Perfect, Ric Flair. Those are my guys.
Woo! Right. Wait, that's trademarked. Can I say that?
No, you just can't say woo energy. Damn it. Sorry, edit that out.
You know what? I forgot to preface that in our pre-show screening, but
it's not. It's not.
We got this.
Not trademark. I got.
It's not. So what in that moment when you were like, yes, I want to be a professional wrestler? How did that moment ignite so many things for you?
I am a firm believer that depending on your actions, your path is somewhat, I wouldn't say predetermined, but you're attracted to many situations easier than others, depending on your actions. And whatever path I was on, that was it. That was where I was meant to be. It just felt instinctual. And I never looked back. When someone asked me to do something you've always wanted to do, I've always been ready for opportunity. And that's why professional wrestling works for me, because opportunity presents itself 9 times out of 10, daddy's ready. So it's always worked out for me. So when it presented itself, I went for it. Win, lose, or draw. I was ready to lose, no worries, but you got to go for it. You only get one good go around in this meat suit. It's a pretty good meat suit.
I happen to think your meat suit is fantastic. You know,
thank you.
Anytime you step between the ropes, it's poetry in motion. It really is. You know, everyone that you step into the squared circle with, you pull out a different expression of them. And I think that's amazing, because you know you've had a personal evolution as a character and as a person, and just how that expresses differently through so many different people. Who's one of your favorite people to work against, I guess, in the ring?
Oh no, the kayfabe gods will get mad if we speak about professional wrestling. Break fourth walls. No.
We're breaking all the walls, Schwartzy. Walls.
We're breaking all the walls. We're breaking all the rules.
Walls are meant to be crossed and ran through. So why not? There are no limits.
That's it. We're on demon time, as the kids say, right? Did I use that right? Did I say demon time right? Oh, okay. Well, I won't say that again. That's terrible. One of my favorite people to wrestle against would probably have to be, you know what? I will say this. I have always had a really good match with Ace Evans. Since the beginning of time, since, you know, I know a lot of people are expecting me to bust out the Shiggy Heroes and some people from like the IWA roster, but consistently a guy, the guy doesn't get enough credit, and I think he's got this new evolution going for him right now, and I think it's about to break out for him. I think good things are, I'm going to put somebody over real quick, because that's what we do. Ace Evans. Yeah. Banger for banger, Ace Evans. I've known him from all his evolutions, just as he's known me. We've been around the same amount of time. Ace Evans, hands down, always gives me a solid match. Makes me look good at all the promotions. Yeah.
What about him? What qualities are present in him that allows that energy between the two of you to unfurl so naturally?
I can't really describe it, but I can. I mean, I'll do my best, because I feel it's just we're just speaking a different language. When we get in there together, whatever he does, whatever Schwartzy does, when it gets together, it just flows, it just meshes. We're just speaking a whole different language. We're on a whole different plane of existence. We're just doing something different on a different level. For some reason, he elevates my energy, I elevate his, until we're right about here. And it's not a thing where you're lording over everybody, but you want to look down on everybody as you're performing, because that's the idea. You're literally in a ring where they're looking up at you. That's the idea. But you want to be able to look down at everybody comfortably and move your magic and do what you're doing and move the way you move. And being in there with him, we just dance. It's just a beautiful tango. Something about Ace Evans and Schwartzy. Never a bad match, not once.
And you know, one thing I really enjoy about wrestling is how to bring this essence of you to even a greater point of ascension, and also make that convey physically. You know, it's how do you personify this one dimension of you, and how do you bring that to life? And how do you know when you need to go bring something else, you know, to the forefront? Like, you know, have you ever had a match and you hear that the crowd is so quiet? how do you determine in yourself how to really amp up that energy or step back?
I just do. I have an instinct. That's not bragging. That's not
100%.
ego. There's just, when I'm in there, it's very hard for me to get shook at this point because I listen. I try to listen to all the details. Sometimes they're quiet because they're paying attention.
Right.
Sometimes they're quiet because they're just trying to figure it out. Sometimes you're still explaining to people what's going on, and people get all types of shook that they haven't come to the conclusion before you've even hit it. I use my empathy, and I try to meet people where they're at. And I try to see where you're at, and I put myself in your shoes. And what I'll do is I'll see where you are on this journey. I'll catch you up, and I will catch you up at your speed. Obviously, I have like 7 to 10 minutes to do so. Sometimes, once in a while, you have to leave some people in the dust. All right? These other people got to work. But what you do is you meet everybody with an empathy. You try to find out what everyone's vibration is, and you meet them on that vibrational plane. And I know I'm speaking a language for professional wrestling that a lot of you might not speak. But if you wonder how I do what I do, that's it. I'm a big weirdo. I feel out everyone's vibration. I try to match that vibration, and I try to use, we literally say it all the time, vibe with me, vibe with them, vibe with them. That actually has meaning. It's not just like silly phrase that they put on t-shirts at Five Below. I'm telling you, it's a real concept. And when you meet the crowd, when you meet your opponent, when you meet the referee, when you meet the commentators, when you meet everybody, the camera people on the same vibrational level during one match, you're flowing, you're vibing, you're putting on the best conceivable moment for people. You're giving everybody the energy that they not only deserve, but they need in that moment. They've already paid the ticket price. They're in. They know Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt for 2 hours of Mission Impossible. So I'm not going to insult people. I'm going to meet every coworker around me at the best of my abilities, and we're going to put on a act of pure wizardry.
You know what, Schwartzy, like this is why you're the magnanimous magician. You just are, you know. We have so much to talk about. Unfortunately, our sponsors that pay us to be here, they want to talk too. So we will talk about more of this energy transference right after this.
I'm down.
Golfside in Ypsilanti, where everyone comes to play.
Welcome back to Bumping and Thumping. I'm your host, Annie O'Neill. Join with me, the amazing Schwartzy. Schwartzy, you last left off on the concept of energy and empathy. So to impart that empathy, it requires you to pour into your own cup. It can be very exhausting sometimes, the demands that the wrestling industry has on you. And you know, people are constantly watching you, and they're constantly needing things from you, and being and you know, serving that from that emotional center, it can be a lot. So there's something I admire particularly about you, and it's your investment of self-care. I really, really, really love that about you. So what does Schwartzy do for Schwartzy, so Schwartzy can appear as Schwartzy for the rest of the world?
I mean, I have a pretty unique regiment that I do. I have been. Let me preface this before I get into it. Everybody has their shortcomings. Everybody has their issues. Everybody has their problems. Everybody has their thises and that's. I personally have thises and that's. I deal with my own mental based demons, adversities, hurdles, whatever you want to call them. And before I get into this, it's important to note that I have, in my lifetime, been on legally and prescribed almost everything under the sun to treat whatever I've been on. And for the longest time, though I have never given up, I just nothing ever worked. Nothing prescribed to me ever worked. So you see that I take on this huge workload. You see that I take on promoting, wrestling, working on my brand. I work with the Mint Cannabis brand, and as a sponsored athlete, you actually have to put in some decent work with all those people. You have to actually really do some stuff on the side to maintain your sponsorships. So I'm a rather busy guy. This is a workload that I never even think I would never have this workload ages ago. What I discovered about 3 years ago is I am a avid microdoser. I microdose psilocybin at low doses, 3 days, every 3 days, first thing in the morning. That is what I do to take care of myself kind of long term. On top of that, I make sure every day I get my sunshine. As you see, I know I'm on a podcast and I'm drinking water. I keep my water intake up. Cold showers are the absolute one in the morning. When you gotta do the cold shower. You're not supposed to stand in there for the length of the shower, a regular one, but a cold shower. And then every month and a half to 2 months, what I do is I take a retreat alone, nobody else, just me, myself, and I go away and I try to get as connected to the earth and nature as humanly possible. I do nothing but music. I try not to watch anything, even streaming, which oddly enough, it's very hard not to look on social media when your only source of music is GD and phone. Yeah, but I did it, and I do it regularly. And what it does is it keeps me grounded. It keeps me maintained. I can't do anything for anybody else if I don't take care of myself. You talk about this cup that I pour from. How do we fill it up? It's got to stay full. You can't pour from an empty cup. It makes no sense. It's strange.
Strong resonance. And this is something that I talk about all the time. We vibe. That's why we're having this conversation. But one thing that I speak very passionately about is you have to start with yourself first. And I feel like it's a stronger resonance and people get a more authentic version of you when you pour into your cup first, and by proxy, you pour into everyone's cup more generously. How long would you say you've made these changes, or how long have you been this version of Schwartzy, the kind who instills these practices for himself?
So I always feel guilty about this because pandemic was good to me. It was so terrible. So many people. Oh, I feel so guilty. But I was about to quit wrestling before pandemic came around. I was starting to quit on myself. I was becoming the version of myself that survives and just survives till the day I die. The game would have been living as long as you can, starring me. And that's not living. That's not even existing. That's floating. Right. So it's a weird, sluggish little, like a sloth thingy. But fortunately, when pandemic came around, I was afforded the time to really discover myself, to see what I was like, you know what? Before I cash in all these chips, why don't I? And not morbidly cash in the chips. I mean, just be a cog in the wheel. I said, let's try some things. Let's throw some things against. What do I have to lose? Let's try some things. And I tried some things, including yoga, hot yoga, actually. Genuine therapy, the psilocybin therapy every 3 days. And things like that. I started taking care of myself, and bit by bit, everything started to fall into line. And I've refined this process all the way since back then. And I've been pretty solid since then. I have my moments. I have my days. This past year, I even took my eye off the ball. And I went a little long without taking care of myself and didn't take my sabbatical. So we all slip and we all fall. And it's just like they say in that funny Batman movie, it's not about slipping and falling, it's about getting up. So
Sure.
that's it. I just kept getting up. That's always been my best move, is I get up. I just outlast. I just stay in the game. I stay fluid. I just learn. I keep my ears open. I keep my ideas and ideas fluid.
Right.
They can always change. Everything is just right now. It's not tomorrow, and it's not yesterday.
Absolutely, because all we have is now. That's it. That's it. Knowing what you know about yourself now, what message do you want to send to others who are beginning their career right now with the modalities in mind that you just talked about?
Just work hard.
Yeah.
Respect everybody. Just go in there and give it your best. Even if it doesn't work out, I respect people that try.
Right.
And they say, this isn't for me. Maybe they even get athletically gifted and they can do this. And in the ring, it's great. They get out in the wild business-wise. I can't deal with this. I understand. As long as you try something that you've always wanted to do, and you try like it is something you've always wanted to do, that's it. You won't let yourself down. Make sure you succeed by giving yourself every chance possible. Make sure you fail by giving yourself every chance possible. Make sure you do everything 100%.
Right. It's okay to fail. My failures have been some of my greatest teachers. They really
Big time. Big time. I've been around 18 years. Do you know how many failures I've had in 18 years? You know, everyone knows I've had a million gimmicks. I've had a million different promotions I've worked for. I've had tag teams. I've done death matches. I've tried everything, and I just stay in the game, and I give it 100%, and I respect my surroundings, but I also keep myself protected. That's it. Just try your best. Don't fail yourself. Don't fail yourself. You're not failing anybody else. If anybody else is so vested in you that they're failed when you're failed, that's their problem. Don't fail yourself. That's it.
And don't expect perfection, because nothing will ever be perfect.
No
it's
way.
Just making the best with what we have and the time that we have. Because every moment only comes by once. You know? That's it. You know, Schwartzy, this has been an amazing ride so far, but unfortunately, those sponsors, they also want a minute of our time. So
sponsors.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jay Aubrey Jackson, the $50 computer virus guy in Metro Detroit. We are the home of the true flat $50 computer repair. $50 job no matter how long it takes. Never a penny more. Netbooks, laptops, desktop towers, all-in-one computers, phones, iPhones, tablets, iPads, and game systems. Free diagnosis and money-back guarantee. If we don't fix it, you pay nothing. And we do same-day service within 24 hours of drop-off. And are open 7 days a week, so come to the computer virus guy now.
Welcome back to Bumping and Thumping, everyone. I'm Annie O'Neill. This is Schwartzy. That's it. I've been waiting all episode.
You wait for the catchphrase. We don't give them the catchphrase yet, man. You got to keep them waiting.
Hold on. That's
also why we can't hit the catchphrase. We lose a host.
Me too.
Now filling in for Annie. Send me the sheets. We've got a show.
And we're back. Schwartzy, why don't you tell our viewers how they can connect with you and where they can see you next?
Well, this weekend you can find me at LPW. I'll be in Fremont, Ohio, tag teaming with my boy, my homie, my player, Kenny Urban and the Goose.
Woo, Kenny!
Here in Loathing in Pro Wrestling, as we're known. We're going to be defending our LPW tag team titles, so that'll be pretty dope and or fresh, depending on if we retain. I think we will. We're pretty tough dudes. After that, what else do I got here? We've got XICW. By the time this airs, I do believe everyone will know this is the first time I've been privileged and blessed with the mess that's going to be a fight with DBA, the godfather of Detroit wrestling, the owner of the longest, owned African-American professional wrestling business in America. Huge.
Wow.
That doesn't get said enough. The longest in the whole entire country and possibly world. I just don't have any stats on the world, but I am tussling with him and his son. Me and Randy will be taking them on in a street fight at XICW on March 18th, I believe, that 17th, Patty's Day. And then we've got Chaos Wrestling. I have a shot at the Pure Michigan Wrestling title against Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas, you twerp. You are a little hoe. Your mom's a hoe. Your girlfriend's a hoe. And I'm going to take your title for everything that it's worth, because what you did to me was cheating. And you cheated those fans, and you cheated those people, and you cheated that promoter out of the money he paid you for that performance, because I'll tell you what, you are a snake, and I'm coming for you, and I'm just going to take the air out your body. There's no tapping out. I'm just going to make you go to sleep.
I saw that match, and I think you were robbed. I haven't
been emotional once this podcast. I'm emotional now. I have the presence of mind to know that I'm emotional. And I'll tell you what, on March 30th, I would just tell everyone to come out, because I'm going to take out the rest of my emotions, because we have a lovely podcast. We've had a lovely time, and I'm not going to dilly-dally on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But you can also catch me on all my social medias. You can also catch me on Instagram at Schwartzy. That's right. At Schwartzy. Look at that face. Repping the Mint brand, sponsored by Mint Cannabis. You can catch me over at any of the dispensaries over there in the Michigan area. I'm actually doing some tours over there, some meet and greets and stuff like that. That's lovely. You can catch me on Facebook under Joseph Schwartz. You don't even have to friend me. You can just follow me. I'm on Twitter or the X or Twixter or whatever they're calling it. What is that? Do they even have the bird anymore?
I
don't like Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you will see me complain about Uber and homophobic businesses. I go on there to complain all the time about bad public interactions. But that's a thing too. You can also follow our businesses. We run a promotion that you might know it. It's called Flophouse Wrestling. We threw the biggest party in Detroit last summer. The biggest wrestling promoting party, whatever you want to call it. It was insane. We're probably gonna do it again this year in August. I might give you the scoop. August 3rd. But we're gonna be coming back.
August.
But we're coming back. Follow us at flophousewrestling.com. Follow us on Flophouse on Facebook. Follow us at Flophouse AF, because we all like to get a little floppy. That's what we're doing. We're keeping it light. We're keeping it funky fresh. We're keeping it a buck. And that's where you can find me. I'm very interactive with all the homies. Please drop me a line, leave me a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be in touch. That good touch, safe touch.
And follow on socials, not in real life. That's how you get charges.
You know what? I will find you if you follow me. I'm pretty good at this. I have found Waldo and Carmen Sandiego a bunch of times. So I'm no spring chicken, but I know when to find somebody.
And I bet your sleuthing skills are superior, but we unfortunately have to go to a break because boundaries are good for everyone. All right, we'll be right back.
Washington on Gulfside in Ypsilanti, where everyone comes to play.
Back to Bumping and Thumping. I'm Annie, and this is Schwartzy. We are almost out of time, but Schwartzy, I'm so grateful for your time. You're a visionary, and I'm just grateful that our paths have crossed. I lean on you a lot for on those days when, I need that homie push, and I'm just completely excited that we had this amazing experience. Is there anything else you want to leave our viewers with?
I mean, we've plugged all the shenanigans. You know where to find me. You know what promotions we work for. You know where you can come see me get my graps on for a little grap and tickle. You know what I'm saying? But I'll leave you with this. Recently, one thing we haven't talked about, but I want to touch on it real quick. You can absolutely do anything in this universe. I talk about being sponsored by Mint Cannabis. Once upon a time, there was no money in professional wrestling when I came into the business. And right now, it is a booming industry with social media, with all these new businesses, with jobs that are non-traditional becoming traditional jobs. You can do anything. I am literally sitting here, a sponsored athlete. I'm also sponsored by Athletic Brew, non-alcoholic beer. But the idea behind that is that anything you want to do, I haven't seen one WWE contract. I haven't seen one Impact contract, TNA contract. I haven't seen one AEW contract. But I'm out here in these streets hustling in what I believe in. And I believe that holds true for anybody. I'm not saying if I can do it, anybody can, as if it's I'm some sort of weak individual. No. But if I can do it, so can absolutely anybody else. You have the choice. You have the decision. You have absolutely everything inside you here and inside you here. And it connects right at your soul. And if you know something and you feel something in your bones, you should go for it. And you should follow it all the way through, because you never know. In 18 years, geez, like how much you can truly do. And I want that for absolutely every individual in this universe. And I think if you guys just, everyone listening to this, if you have something, whether it's wrestling, starting your own business, you want to go do a podcast, you just want to eat better, I want you to just get up and do it. And when you fail, because it might happen, you say to yourself, I didn't fail, I'm just going to do it again, and put the time in between each failure so far that it's non-existent. And that's what I want to leave everyone with today. Because if I've built this empire, anybody else can.
And you know what, everyone? Talk about holding that vibration. This man lives it. So, Schwartzy, thank you for being the oversoul you are, the visionary you are, and sharing your energy with us today. I'm just really grateful. So
I am equally grateful for you and the platform that you all have provided me with today. Thank you.
All right, everyone. This has been another episode of Bumping and Thumping, your premier podcast featuring everything about independent wrestling around the world. My name's Annie. We will catch you next time.